Trump hasn't strayed far from his comfort zone when it comes to his cabinet. It resembles most of the boardrooms in the biggest companies in the U.S. Very male, very white, very rich.
If we could run our country the way I've run my company, we would have a country that you would be so proud of.
It would appear he's trying to do just that. His nominees for top cabinet positions include several multimillionaires, even 2 billionaires. Many of his picks were born wealthy, went to elite schools. Most have no experience in government. They are, in general, protectionist, highly skeptical that climate change is man-made or even exists. And for the first time in a quarter century, none of the top 4 seats will be occupied by a woman or a visible minority. The pick for Secretary of State, the top diplomat, is Rex Tillerson. CEO of ExxonMobil, he has no political experience. He does have extensive business ties to Russia. He's a good pal of, wait for it, Vladimir Putin. He was even awarded the Russian Order of Friendship 3 years ago, something Republican Senator Lindsey Graham at the time called unnerving.
We are going to appoint Mad Dog Mattis as our Secretary of Defense.
That's right. The pick for Defense Secretary is nicknamed Mad Dog. He spent 41 years in the military, overseeing the U.S. wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. In 2005, he drew criticism after making these comments at a public forum.
Actually, it's a lot of fun to fight them. It's a hell of a hoot. It's fun to shoot some people. If you want to put me, I like brawling.
I would bring back waterboarding, and I'd bring back a hell of a lot worse than waterboarding.
But it turns out Mattis does not favor waterboarding. Mattis is also at odds with his boss on the Iran nuclear deal. Trump has said it should be dismantled. Mattis says, while it's not perfect, there's no going back. One small challenge around the Mattis appointment: he only retired from the military in 2013. The law requires 7 years out of the military to serve in government. Mattis will require a waiver from Congress. For the third time, Treasury will have a former Goldman Sachs banker at its helm. Observers have called Steve Minuchin the least controversial of the nominees. Strangely enough, Minuchin, born into wealth as well, was mostly a donor to the Democratic Party before he was tapped for cabinet. Oh, and Trump once sued Minuchin's own hedge fund company. Dune Capital Management was among a group of lenders who provided loans for the construction of a Trump skyscraper in Chicago. The suit was settled. Jeff Sessions is Trump's pick for Attorney General, named after Jefferson Davis, President of the Confederate States of America during the Civil War, and Civil War General Pierre Beauregard. He was the first senator who endorsed Trump for president, and who, in his 20 years in the Senate, opposed immigration reform, voting protections for minorities, and once voted against an amendment banning cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment of prisoners.
How are you?
Sessions brings a lot of baggage with him. Back in 1986, he was up for a federal judgeship. His former colleagues helped derail that, testifying to a Senate committee that as U.S. Attorney, Sessions used the N-word and joked about the Ku Klux Klan, saying he thought they were okay until he learned that they smoked marijuana.
I am not a racist. I am not insensitive to blacks.
Wait a minute, you can't arrest me, I'm white! White people don't get arrested!
Last week, his Senate confirmation hearing was interrupted multiple times by protesters, but none of it seemed to faze his supporters. And that's just the top jobs. Trump has also nominated an education secretary who's advocated heavily for charter schools and called for entire public school systems to be shut down. An energy secretary who once called for the Energy Department to be dismantled. And a Health and Human Services secretary who wants to slash Medicare and Medicaid, defund Planned Parenthood, and is against a woman's right to choose.
I think we have one of the great cabinets ever put together.